Let me welcome you to the conversation segment on the Signature Show this Sunday afternoon. I have with me as a guest in the studio this Sunday afternoon, Jibrin Okutepa. You're welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, marvelous. You look marvelously well.
Thanks for the compliment. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says political parties will be barred from receiving money abroad recently. What is receiving money abroad?
Well, I do not know what the Independent National Electoral Commission is talking about. But as far as I know, Section 225, subsection 1A, thereabout of the 1999 Constitution as amended, prohibits political parties that are properly so-called registered, that have been recognized by INEC to operate as political party, from receiving funds from abroad or owning assets abroad. It prohibits them from also retaining such money should it be given to them or sent to them from abroad. Abroad means any fund that is received outside the shore of Nigeria, which means, for instance, if you receive money, if a political party receive money from Niger Republic, for instance, or Cameroon, or Ghana, or Togo, or United States of America, then it becomes unconstitutional, illegal. And that's why Section 85 of the Electoral Act 2022, as amended, prohibits or prescribes a penalty for such misconduct or such an offense. And it is that you forfeit the assets. You are also liable to a fine of 5 million naira if the political party is found by INEC to have done so. Now, at one breath, the Constitution prohibits political party from receiving funds from abroad. At another breath in the same Constitution, the Constitution says that where such funds are received by political parties from abroad or outside the shore of Nigeria, it should, within 21 days of receipts, surrender it to INEC. The question I ask is, if you prohibit a political party from receiving money from abroad, why then making allowance for the same political party when it so received the money to surrender it to INEC? If it surrenders it to INEC, what does INEC do with the money? The Constitution is silent about it, and you are not told what will INEC do with it. Mark you, INEC had a budget. What will the INEC do with the money? Should he use it, or should it return the money back to the donor of such money? Nobody is told, and the lawmaker have not told us, and I cannot speculate what INEC will do. But let me be clear here that what the Constitution and the Electoral Act prohibits from receiving and retaining from abroad is political parties, or are the political parties. There is no provision in any of our Constitution for Nigerian living abroad from supporting me as a candidate of a political party. For instance, if I'm a politician and I have friends that are very wealthy and in abroad, and they want to support me to win the governorship of my state, for instance, and they are ready to give me money, I'm not political party, because in Nigeria there is no room for independent candidates. So you see, when we are making law and people are becoming emotional about, I saw some write-up saying that a particular person, a particular individual cannot receive money from abroad. Those are analyses that are, with respect, not in tandem with the Constitution.
So
the Constitution prohibits political parties.
Not candidates.
Not candidates, not politicians, not individual Nigerians.
So what you're trying to say now, that this particular money does not include candidates, whether in their business.
I am not trying to say what the Constitution had said in black and white. is political party.
Parties are not candidates.
And then political party in law is a juristic persons, distinct and different from their members. So when you look at series of decisions, it's political parties that contest election. Candidates are also allowed to vie for political offices on the platform of political parties. As to whether our lawmaker intended that candidates should not and must not be supported by Nigerians or other persons outside the shore of Nigeria is what, with respect, I cannot find in our electoral act or in the constitution. And we are not entitled to read into the constitution what is not therein contained.
So what if a particular statement or an issue, just like it is being raised by INEC, is not in tandem with the constitution? What happens?
It's unconstitutional. If INEC cannot, nothing is an offense except the penalty for doing so is prescribed in a written law. So INEC cannot operate outside the constitution. Political party cannot operate outside the constitution. Individual can also not operate outside the constitution.
Okay, now, so how does this become a threat to Nigeria's democracy and, of course, national interest?
What is a threat? Political party receiving money or individual candidate being supported by Nigerians that are in diaspora? What makes Nigerians in diaspora less Nigerians than the Nigerians in Nigerian soil if they chose to support me, not my political party? How does that become a threat to national security? Are Nigerians abroad less Nigerian than those in Nigerian soil? So, except of course, there is evidence that foreign mercenaries, foreign donors are people who are supporting a particular candidate or funding a particular candidate for unlawful purpose, then the burden shifts to whoever makes such allegation to prove it, and in an appropriate court of law.
So now, if INEC says political parties are not allowed and they are barred to receive money from abroad, what is the intent of the law and what is the constitution trying to prevent? What will it hurt if it happens that way?
You see, let INEC have its eye well focused as to whether money are coming from abroad to political party. And this distinction is very clear. It's fundamental in law. What the law prohibits is what I keep saying. Why did the lawmaker not say no Nigerian politicians contesting election should be supported by funds from abroad? If you look at the Electoral Act very well, there is a ceiling for which presidential candidate must not political party must not exceed or should not exceeded in its political activities. But we are all living witnesses to humongous amount of money that were spent by individuals even in the process of their party's primaries. What did INEC do? Could INEC have disqualified any of those candidates who were allegedly involved in the dollarization of primary or political parties in Nigeria? even though it's a criminal offense, are we all not living witnesses to such criminal conducts?
Does INEC have the power to prosecute?
INEC may not have the power, but what castrated the Federal Republic of Nigeria that has the power to show respect and obedience to the law of the land that prohibits the use of dollars in Nigeria? Are you not living witnesses today that dollars have been freely traded contrary to the provisions of the Central Bank Act? Are we not witnesses to it? So my dear brother, my take on all of this is the fact that we seem to become emotionally interested in showing respect and obedience to law when those who are not in our good book appears to be coming in contact and having head-on collision with the law of the land. But in doing so, we seem to also be emotionally pregnant when we misinterpret the words of our law or our constitution. I have shown you, and you can go and read, if you can find in the 1999 constitution as amended, where an individual Nigerians, whether he be a politician or a sympathizer of a politician, can be prohibited from collecting donations or from owning property abroad. Now, public officers are prohibited from having properties abroad, but are we not living witnesses to majority of our public officers having foreign account, foreign assets, properties, and nothing is happening to them? Some are on daily basis not even living in Nigerian soil.
Well, my producer is giving me a signal that our time is against us. Anyway, that's it on the conversation today on the Signature Show this Sunday afternoon. Thank you, Jibrin Okutepa.
Thank you, Marvelous. It's marvelous to have you, and I hope that the leaders will listen to this your Signature Show.
We pray they do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.